So enter the information into your calculator as follows: square root 21.5, and then divide by, open the brackets, that's pretty essential, 5.8 minus 2.36, close the brackets, press the equal sign, and simply copy what's on your calculator display into the answer booklet. And you can see me doing that now. Very straightforward task indeed. Okay, so now round it to 2 decimal places. So I'll look at the first 3, and you can see that I've got a 7 on the third. That means I've got to round up to 1.35. That's question 1. Question 2. Well, the smallest numbers. 0.89 is less than 1. 1.2, 7.01, 13.1. Kick yourself if you got that wrong. Now, minus numbers are smaller, and the larger they are, the smaller they are. So, minus 8, minus 3, 0, 2, and 6. Well, you've got to see how many square slabs are going to cover this area. Now, your slabs are in centimetres, and the area is in metres, so we need to change that. So, 3.6 metres is 360 centimetres, and 3 metres is 300 centimetres. So, this way you're going to get 6. I've not drawn that very well. Let's try that again. You're going to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And this way you're going to get 5. So you're going to get 5 by 6. Okay, 5 times 6. Alright, and that's going to mean we're going to need 30 slabs. 30 slabs. Well, we bought 32. So yes, we have enough. And this kind of working out here, the fact that I've said 30 slabs from 5 times 6, and I've converted is sufficient working. Well, we look at this question, there's a couple of things wrong with it. First of all, how many hours do you spend listening to music? Well, what do they mean in a day, a week, a month? So you have to say no time period specified. So no time period. Or given. And then we've got these overlaps. And overlaps, no, so overlap. And also, what if you don't no box for 0? So any 2 from those 3 will get you the marks. So you can see here that I've improved the question. How much time do you spend listening to music each week? I've underlined that. And then my response boxes have the 0 and there are no overlaps, and they allow anything from 7 and above. Perfect. Well, quite a straightforward one really. Bring your E's together, 6E and E. It's going to give me 7E, and 5F subtract 3F gives me 2F. Nice easy marks. So we've got 19 calculators costing £143.64. So if we divide by 19, we'll find the cost of 1. But we want the cost of 31. So simply take that and times it by 31. So dividing by 19 gives you the cost of 1, timesing by 31 gives you the cost of 31. So you can see I've done that on the calculator, and it's £234. 36 pence. The paper slipped slightly, but you can see. Let's just rub that out and write it. Well, I mean, really, I don't really need to write this in, do I? But I've started, so I'll finish. 234, £36 is the answer there. So we've got the graph y equals 4x minus 2. So the minus 2 is the y-intercept, so we know it's going to go through here. The gradient is 4, so this means for 1 across, so dot that, 1 across on the x-axis, we must go 4 up on the y. Now they've used different scales to throw you, so it's not a question of counting the squares, but look carefully at the scale. So I've come across from 0 to 1, that's 1 across. I've gone from minus 2 up to 2, that's 2 up. 4 up. So you can see I've done all the points. Take your ruler, draw a nice straight line through it, you get all the marks. So a lot of subtractions here really. You can use your calculator, remember. So we've got 79 take 36, which leaves me 43. I've got 79, 54, and something else makes 200. 79 and 54 is 103. 33, so that's going to give me 67. Now, tennis, female, and 42 gives me 67, that's 25. I can then go across swimming, tennis and athletics, 43 and 25, that's 68, and 19 would be 87. Now 87 and something makes 200, that's going to be 113, and then I've got my 54, subtract my 19, well, subtract 20 and add back 1, that's 34, 35, so it's 35, and then check going across that you get your 113, well 36 and 42 is 78, and 78 and 35 is 113, so there's the answers. So when you look at the plan, you are seeing the width this way, and then you're seeing the sort of depth of the building that way, so it's not the height, it's the depth. Now when you're round that side, if you're looking at that side, you're going to see a width of 2. So you're looking from this side, or indeed if you're looking from that side, you will see this width of 2. Now the front elevation, that's looking fair, shows you the height, shows the height of the building is also 2. So when you're around at either end, and you're looking on that elevation, you will see a 2 by 2 shape. Even though there's a slope, you won't see the slope as you're looking straight at it. So in doing the sketch, draw out slightly on its side the front elevation. Let's try that again. Okay, so I've turned it on its side and then put in the sort of depth like that. And that gives you the 3D effect. So you've got 40 litres of water. It's flowing out at 125 millilitres per second. How long is it going to take to empty? Well, we can't divide 125 into 40 because the units are different. But I've been given a unit conversion, so I can convert my litres into millilitres by multiplying by 1,000. Now if I divide that by 125, because it's losing 125 every second, that will tell me in total how many seconds it will take for it to completely empty. And if you use your calculator, it's pretty simple to do that. 40 times 1,000 divided by 125, you will see the answer is 320 seconds. So the length of the line is 63 centimetres to the nearest centimetre. So if I write 63, 64 and 62, then if we're going to the nearest, you've got your boundary points, halfway between the whole numbers. So the least you can be is 62.5, and the most you can be is 63.5. So 62.5, now some people like to put 63.49 recurring, showing that you can never actually be 63.5 because that rounds you up, but really 63.49 recurring and 63.5 are basically the same thing, so I think you'll be okay with either answer, but I'll put in 63.49 recurring to be safe. Let's start off with our triangles. We've got 2 triangles, and those triangles will be 2 times a half. Remember, we've got to, when we use the formula for triangles, a half times 8 times 15. That will be the area of our 2 triangles. Now we can do the 2 and a half cancels down to 1. We've got to do 8 15s, which is 120. Now we have, let's see if we can improve that slightly. Let's do that to 120. Now we've got 3 rectangles. All right. Each rectangle has got a dimension of 10. We've got the base, which is 15 times 10. We've got the slope, I'll just show you that, the slope rectangle, which is 17 times 10. And we've got the rectangle at the back, which is 8 times 10. Now if you add 15, 17 and 8 together, you'll get 40 lots of 10, which is 400. And don't forget your triangles, so 400 plus 120, the final answer is 520 centimetres squared. Okay, so first part of the question says, find the mode. Now the mode will be the number of children that comes up the most, and the number of children that came up the most was 9, or the frequency was 9, the number of children is 0, should I say, so the answer is 0 children came up most. Now to calculate the mean, we need the total age of all the children. So 9 zeros are 0, we've got 6 children at age 1, so their age would be 6, 7 children times 2, so really you're doing a multiplication across here. 7 2s are 14, 8 3s are 24, so that means those 8 children aged 3 have a total age of 24, and then 8. And if we add these up, it comes to 52. There were altogether 9 and 6, 15, and 7, 22, and 8, 30, 32 children altogether. So we find the mean by taking the total of the ages, which is 52, and divide it by the number of children. Your mean will come out to 1.625, which is the answer. So Jane has a carton of orange juice. The carton's in the shape of a cuboid. The depth of the orange juice is 8 centimetres. So we've got this actual juice comes up to 8 centimetres. So we can get the volume of the juice then. The volume of the juice will be 8 times 6 times 10. Okay, we'll leave the 20 because the 20 is the full height, but the water only goes up to a height of 8. So our volume then is 8 6 is 48, 480. Now when we turn the carton over, then our carton will have a width of 20, a base of 6, and we need to find out what the new height will be. So we know then that this volume is 480, so we've got h times 6 times 20 equals 480. So if we cancel this down, then we can see that if we cancel to start off with the 2 and the 0, we'll have h equals 6 times, sorry, let's do that again, h times 6. So we're cancelling that 20. How many 20 is going to 480? Well, 2 is going to 48, 24 times equals 24. So h must be 4. So it was the 20 into the 480 that left me the 24 on the right hand side, and obviously 4 times 6 gives me 24. So let's expand x times x plus 2. So x times x is x squared, and x times 2 is 2x. Now x plus 3 times x minus 4 is going to be x times x, x squared, x times minus 4, minus 4x, 3 times x plus 3x, 3 times minus 4, minus 12, and simplify. So x squared minus x, that's minus 4x plus 3x minus x, minus 12. Factorise completely, 2y squared minus 4y. Now, okay, so we've got 2 going into both terms, and we've got a y going into both terms. So 2y is the highest common factor in both terms. We're going to need a y to get 2y squared, and we're going to need a 2 to get minus 4y. So x squared minus 9 is the difference between two squares, and you'll be well rewarded if you've learnt that that will always be x plus or minus the square root of the number at the end, and the square root of 9 is 3. Now I've actually inserted the answer onto the screen, but we'll leave it there and explain where it came from. So we're trying to find a stratified sample for some students that come from 3 institutions. There's 50 in the sample, so we'll put our 50 in. And we need to get, the question wants to know how many from Greslow High. Well, Greslow High, there's 700 students, and as a proportion of all the students, it will be 700 out of 750 plus 700 plus 900. So you've got the total of all the students on the bottom, and you've got the number from Greslow High on the top, and that will give you the correct proportion or fraction. We multiply that fraction times 50 to find out the number of students. Now we need to round up to a whole number of students. You can't have a fraction of students, so the answer is 15. So to start off finding BAD, we should notice that BAD is in the cyclic quadrilateral, which I'll just quickly draw, and the connection between angles that are opposite in a cyclic quadrilateral is they make 180. So we'll write that down. And to find BOD, well, we've got these angles coming off the arc BO going to the centre and also going to the edge, and should know that the angle at the centre is double angle at the edge of the same arc. So the answer is 100, and I'll write down what you need to put in next. So the angle at the centre is double the angle at the edge off, let's correct that, off the same arc. Now it'll be difficult for me to get this exactly right using my finger on an iPad, but we'll go through what we have to do here. Our box plot will look like this. So we put that onto the scale here. Our lowest value will be 18. Our highest value will be 86. The median value is 57. The lower quartile will be 32. Now if you add the interquartile range to the lower quartile, you'll get the upper quartile of 70. So I'll just have one quick go at trying to put this on. Each square equals 2. If you look at this, there's 5 squares taking you to 20. Might help if you sort of mark in, as I'm trying to with my finger, it's quite hard to be accurate, the scale here. So let's have a go then. So 18 will be about there, 32 there, 57, so that's between the third and the fourth, about there, 70, that shouldn't be too bad there, and finally 86, which is the third one past 80. I think I've got the 80 in the right place. 1, 2, 3, about there. So that's a nasty splodge there. Okay, so nearly done, and there. Okay, that's a rough go at it, but you should be able to tell whether you got that right or not.